Welcome back to the Statesman Insider here on Delta News WXVT. Matt Jones, joined now by Coach Mike Kinnision. And Coach, it's been an interesting fall for you. We have seen more rain here in the Mississippi Delta this year than I think possibly ever, and it really has affected your preparations so far for fall ball.
It really has. It was frustrating to some extent. It was, as you said, typically or untypically like any fall we've had. We probably had more rain in the months of September and October than in several falls combined that I can remember in recent history. So it did really cut our work back, and as a result, I think we still have a lot of questions still to answer about our ball club. We're thankful for the time that we did get in. But in my mind, I really feel like we did about 1/3 of the work we'd like to have done in a normal fall program.
Coach, with all the rain, obviously it changes the way that you have to plan for fall practice. A lot more indoor work, maybe speed work. Kind of how does that change your approach in the fall?
Well, in the fall, we would really like to see guys compete against each other in live game situations. There is a period where we do our teaching, our orientation, in small group work, but when we actually enter our 24-day practice period, you'd love to spend every one of those practices on the field. Normally in a fall setting, we'll play 12 to 15 squad games. This year we played 5. And those 5 were spaced out quite infrequently just because of the weather situation. So the result is we didn't get to see a lot of pitcher-hitter matchups. We didn't really get to see how guys compete and how they perform in game competition and game pressure situations. That just puts to me a greater sense of urgency on the month of January as we prepare for our season that starts in February.
And Coach, one of the things that obviously a lot of question marks coming in with the team, you lost a lot of letter winners, a couple of 4-year starters off the program last year that you got to find to replace Devin Goodwin and Clay Sarton off of that team, and some new arms on the squad. Talk about some of the newcomers that we've got and some guys that maybe were on the team last year that will step up and play bigger roles this year.
Well, we're going to have that, and as you said, we certainly lost a great nucleus. We lost all of our infield basically except for Josh Gordon. Josh returns at third base for a senior season. We think he'll is all lined up to have his best year for us, and we're optimistic about that. Kellen Bozeman, who DH'd a lot last year, we'll step him into the first base role, and he's familiar with that. Stephen Oswald, who was our first baseman last year, was very, very good defensively, and he gave us the opportunity to DH Kellen a little bit and play him some at third. But we'll move him back to first base, and he, of course, is a big returner. Those two guys in the infield. Michael Naiman and Cade Hoggart in the outfield return. Michael will be back for his junior season. He led us in hitting last year, has had a great summer in the summer collegiate leagues. And Cade, of course, was a big guy for us in the middle of our order with some RBI and home run production, and very good defensive outfielder in right field. So it's comforting to have those two guys back. We do have what may be, at the end of the year, our 3 most consistent pitchers returning. And even though we'd love to have a little more experience under the belt of some of them, Cody Kelly, for example, returns, and he's had quite a bit of pitching experience for us and has done a great job. Trey Griffin and Jason Coates also return, and those 3 guys at this point kind of formulate our starting rotation.
Coach, big recruiting class we're going to talk about next segment in the early signing period. Last year brought in the signing period a number of new players that will have to step in and play some big roles for you. One that really I know you're excited about is the new catcher for Berry College.
Yeah, Patrick Taylor's a great addition to our ball club in a lot of ways. You'd like for your catcher to be an extension of the coach on the field, handle the pitching staff, run the ball club, so to speak, and he can do all of that. Nice catch and throw guy, good defensive skills behind the plate, as I mentioned, good leadership, and I think he'll fit well into our offense. So we're excited about him. Patrick is a junior transfer from Berry College, and we think that he will give us you know, something that we're missing in replacing a senior catcher from last year's club.
And again, the Statesmen will open up the season first week of February down in Florida. A lot of worse ways to start a year than a Florida road trip, taking on Lynn University. Also, I think swinging through Nova Southeastern while you're down there, and going to be an exciting start to the year. A few more home games on the schedule this year than we had last year, so an exciting opportunity for fans to be able to see the Statesmen at home. We're going to talk to Coach about that coming up in the next segment in just a little bit, as well as the incoming recruiting class that will be coming in for the 2011 season. A big signing class this fall, and we'll talk with Coach about that in just a few moments. Also be talking about the 50th anniversary of Coach Ferris's first season here at Delta State. That's coming up in just a moment. You're watching the Statesman Insider here on WXV.